Hi, welcome back to Cleanse Part 2. We're going to continue talking about cleaning house. This is our metaphor, the spring cleaning that we would do in our house. For this, we're going to do the same thing in our bodies. The inside of our bodies, we want to have them to be fresh and clean. And I know it's not spring, but we can do this all through the year if we want to keep up and have optimal health. We want to make sure that we are taking care of the first line of defense, our first line of immunity, and that's our gut health. So we're going to talk about activating, which is opening up the windows and letting in the fresh air and the sunshine, and resetting, which is cleaning out the clutter, getting rid of the dirt, the things that we don't need, things that even might be causing us harm, and then renewing. So organizing what's left and having an efficient system. So we're going to talk about the very first line of defense would be our gastrointestinal pathway. And this is kind of like cleaning out the fridge and the pantry. You wouldn't want to have moldy food, rotten food in your refrigerator, in your pantry. And I want you to think about the same thing for your inside, for your gut, your GI tract. We don't want moldy, bad, putrid, rotten food sitting around inside of our bodies and causing us harm. Now, sometimes it happens on our refrigerators or our pantries, and sometimes this happens in our bodies, not because we want it to. None of us want to have that kind of thing in our bodies. We want to be clean. We want to be refreshed. But sometimes we get busy. We aren't as mindful as we should be of the things that we need to be doing, of the healthy food that we need to be eating, of the ways we need to be eliminating bad things in our bodies, taking a line of defense with our probiotics and those kinds of things. So we're just going to talk about that. As we talked about earlier in camp, you want to be the best you. This is the motivation for this. We're not being judgmental, as we said. We all fall into ruts. We all fall into those seasons where we're not doing the things that we should be doing. But if we'll just come back to why do we want to do this? Why would we want to really take care of the immune system and have products that can help support that? And that is to be the best us that we can be so that we have optimal health. We're able to carry on with our duties. We're able to help and serve others. So let's think about it that way. And we're going to start with the GI tract. This is our first elimination pathway in our spring cleaning. So this is talking about digesting, getting rid of food, like cleaning out our refrigerator and our pantry. This is 70% of our body's immune function. So obviously, it's very, very important for us to take care of the GI tract, kind of like the most important thing we can be doing. And that's why we talk about that healthy pyramid, starting with nutrition. And so this is what we want to do. We want to make sure that we're having healthy nutrition, that we're eliminating the bad, we're taking in the good. Our GI tract is going to get rid of the toxins that are entering our blood and our lymph systems. So we need to be able to have our GI tract distinguish between the good and the bad, so that we're getting maximum absorption of good nutrients, eliminating the bad. Okay? So that's 70% of our bodies, and it starts in our stomachs with the acidic, the pH of 1.3. A lot of times we can throw off that environment, that pH environment, by what we're eating. So again, it always goes back to what we're taking in our bodies. Okay, we're taking in foods that are not pH balanced. We need to look at that, look at our foods, and we're not going to go real deep into that, but you can look into the foods that you eat. We're going to talk about other things today. All right. So before the GI tract starts getting rid of harmful toxins, our stomachs are going to start that, as long as they have that pH balance, that acidic balance, that is going to get rid of harmful pathogens that we might be taking in. Now, again, we said it's a large area. The surface area of the GI tract is equivalent to that of a tennis court. That amazes me. Absolutely amazes me. Our bodies are so amazing. They are fearfully and wonderfully made. They are so amazing. And we need to take care of our amazing bodies so that they will do for us what they need to do. Now, when our food and nutrients are absorbed, they pass through the walls of the digestive system. They directly enter the bloodstream. And then there's a systemic delivery system that takes what we need throughout our system. And unfortunately, sometimes what we don't need and things that are harmful. So we want this, our intestinal walls to maintain efficient yet selective absorption, right? So this is what we're going to learn about, and we're going to help our systems, because we have these bodies that have this great system going. But we have our role to play in this too. All right, so this system allows the body to absorb nutrients it needs for health while also preventing toxins from entering the body. And these are the three ways, specialized cells: the epithelial, the villi, the microvilli. These are selective barriers that only allow certain substances to pass into circulation. So I'm not going to go into this. Obviously, this is kind of like a science lesson, and I think we all remember learning this in school to a certain extent. Some of you may have gone on to further education and learned more. But these three structures do dramatically increase the surface area that's available for absorption. It gives our intestines very efficient and highly selective absorption capabilities, as long as we're taking care of our guts. Okay, so that's our part. So an important product that will have benefits for this gastrointestinal tract and these systems is our Terrazyme digestive enzyme complex. Now, this product contains a unique and complete blend of active whole food enzymes. These are deficient in our cooked and our processed foods. If our diets had more raw foods in them, we would need less digestive enzymes, because that is what our raw foods contained. Our processed foods, our cooked foods destroy those digestive enzymes. So we do have to add them back in, either by eating a very large amount of raw foods. Some people say up to 75, 80% of raw foods. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not very good at incorporating that many raw foods in my diet. I plan to, I want to, but I don't always do that. Now, I have days where, yes, I'm doing better than other days. Some days I'm starting my morning with a kale and pineapple smoothie. And that's a great way to start, because that's raw food, and that will activate those digestive enzymes and that whole digestive process right away. But if we're not doing that, we don't have that critical process of metabolism and detox going on in our GI tract. So we want to make sure that we are taking in those enzymes one way or the other. This is going to support the healthy digestion of our foods. They're the crucial player in this. Fresh raw foods, again, would naturally contain these enzymes, but because of pasteurization, sterilization, radiation, just the way our foods are preserved in our modern food supply, it destroys. It can either make them inactive or alter their structure so that they become either useless or even harmful, okay? So it removes those important vitamins and mineral cofactors, that enzymatic chemistry in our body that helps us to absorb nutrients. So Terrazyme does contain a lot of whole food enzymes, and you can see the list of them here. Protease breaks down protein to peptides and amino acids. That's what our body needs. It needs the peptides and amino acids. Our food will contain those things, but the breakdown is not there. We're not able to use those nutrients if we don't have the digestive enzymes. So these are going to be very, very important. And this is just a list of something. And if you'll look down towards the bottom list, you can see anti-gluten enzyme blend. And this assists in breaking down gluten. This is extremely important, especially for people who really have an issue with gluten, either an intolerance or they are completely, should not have gluten at all. This Terrazyme is going to help with this also. This is a very convenient way to guarantee that we have sufficient enzymes. You know, having a smoothie, as I said, would be a very good way to have a whole food, raw food smoothie. But if you're not having that, sometimes if you're having the raw foods or smoothies, those kinds of things, you don't have to take as much Terrazyme. You don't have to need as much support in that area, additional support. But what if you're eating out somewhere, or you've cooked a meal for your family that just does not have any raw food in it? You're going to need to add in Terrazyme. So you can use less when you're eating more raw foods. Use more, up to 3 of the capsules a day, or up to 3 with a meal if you're eating things that don't have any of those raw foods, cooked, processed foods. While you're traveling, all of us, when we travel, we don't eat like we would normally. And then there are other factors added into that. We are exposed to more pathogens, especially if you're flying, things like that. You want to make sure that you have this added layer of supporting that immune system, that digestive system. Okay. Now, the digestive system is home to trillions of bacteria. Collectively, they're called microflora. The majority of these reside in the large intestine, but some are also found throughout the rest of the digestive tract. Our intestinal microflora, this is our friendly bacteria, which helps with digestion. It helps prevent growth of harmful pathogens, helps with communication between our cells for immune response. So this is another very crucial part of our immune system that we need to be making sure that we are looking after here. Friendly bacteria will also help us with eliminating these threats to our microflora. Physical stressors, chemicals and toxins, unhealthy diet, as I said, with traveling, antibiotics, they are beginning to tell us more and more. The CDC, which is this Center for Disease Control, pediatricians, other doctors are beginning to sound the alarm about the overuse of antibiotics and how they have definitely threatened the microflora, the good gut bacteria that we need to fight off these things. And if we're destroying that friendly bacteria, we need to make sure that we are repopulating that. And we'll be talking about that product. This friendly bacteria aids in digestion. When we have compromised microflora, we have digestive discomfort, we have food sensitivities, chronic challenges for our GI system, even fatigue, the lack of energy, anything that is going wrong in our immune system, we can trace back to the GI tract. We can trace back to the fact that we are not populating that flora, that good bacteria that helps fight the bad. Even mood imbalances can be tied to this. So obviously, when you look at the things that compromise the microflora, then we can see what the good bacteria does do. It aids in our digestion. It produces essential nutrients, breaks down indigestible substances. It helps with that immune system messaging. So to maintain health of the digestive system, it is very crucial to adequately populate with friendly strains of bacteria. Now, talking about resetting and renewing that inside that GI tract. We want to look at resetting. And for resetting, we want to look at doTERRA's line of supporting supplements. So the GX Assist helps remove harmful substances from the digestive system. And then PB Assist is going to reestablish that healthy microflora colonization. It's going to improve our long-term gut health, and which means our long-term health, all right? So cleansing is a very natural thing. Our great-great-grandparents cleanse the system. In the spring, if you read much about this, you will find out in the spring they would be picking all of the actual what we consider weeds these days, different leaves and herbs and different plants that would help with this spring cleanse. And we don't do that anymore. We actually put pesticides and Roundup and things like that on some of these plants that our great-grandparents used to use to have a cleanse going on, on a systematic basis. So we do have to use products now to help us with that cleanse. And GX Assist is a gentle cleanse if you follow the process that we're going to talk about tomorrow in Cleanse Part 3. It has caprylic acid and 6 essential oils. Caprylic acid is an 8-carbon fatty acid. It has been demonstrated to have detoxification properties. So it has a lipophilic structure, so it can easily penetrate cellular membranes because those are also lipophilic. It can penetrate those of hostile organisms, which sometimes can be very hard to penetrate. Okay, essential oils are very good at penetrating that barrier that some things cannot get through. All right, so now when we reset, we're talking about yanking out the weeds, yanking out the bad things through this cleanse. And the GX Assist also contains an essential oil blend of oregano, melaleuca, lemon, lemongrass, peppermint, thyme. And those have all been proven to have the chemistry that will synergistically provide a complete detoxification. So we want to definitely incorporate that. And then we're going to renew. We yanked out the weeds with the GX Assist. We're going to renew. That means plant more grass because grass is better than weeds, right? Sometimes those weeds, as I talked about, can be good, but we are speaking metaphorically here. So as we renew, we're going to add the PB Assist in. This is a blend of both pre and probiotics. Probiotics are living bacteria. They live in our gastrointestinal tract, but we do things that will destroy it. Like I said, antibiotics, pathogens, other things can destroy that good microflora. So we want to have those live bacteria that have health benefits living in our intestines. So they will promote a balance of, the PB Assist promotes a balance of beneficial bacteria in the intestine and colon, supports healthy digestive and immune functions of the gut. Now, it does it through a patented process. We have a prebiotic fiber encapsulating our probiotic microbes. So this prebiotic fiber is providing a short chain fiber, actually protects that probiotic, and it's in a time release intercapsule. It does not release until it gets into the intestines, which is very good because that means it's not all getting, most of it's not getting eaten up by our acidic stomachs. So we are getting more out of our probiotic through this patented system that doTERRA has. And we see here the upper intestine, the lactobacillus, and the lower intestine, the bifidobacterium. That's where we want those particular probiotics. and that's how it's delivered in this system. 6 billion colony forming units of 6 strains. So it's a great, great probiotic with a unique delivery system, and it's released into the intestines where we're going to get maximum benefit. So I want you to join us tomorrow for Cleanse Part 3, because I want to explain the whole system that doTERRA has for us, including these products that we talked about and some other products. Our Endocrine is going to help us get ready for our cleanse. Of course, our Lifelong Vitality, as we've talked about, always is a big support for our GI tract and for our other systems. It's giving us all those wonderful nutrients that we need to support our system and to support our body, which is going to get us ready for anything, for our cleanse and renew also. So I want you to join us again tomorrow. Have fun for the rest of camp. I know you're learning a lot, and we will see you back here tomorrow.